Now, one of the most underrated tools when you're playing online poker is confidence. This is not your typical stat like a VPIP or aggression frequency, but make no mistakes, confidence is a weapon. And if you're not using it as part of your strategy, you're leaving chips on the table. Plus, I can't tell you how many times that I've gone into a session feeling a certain type of way, mainly negative, and then ending up having a terrible session. You really need to go into each session you're playing feeling like you're the best person sitting at the table, or what's the point, guys? All right, so that kind of gets me into my tips. The first thing I want to talk about here is knowing your spots. So confidence starts with preparation. Having your pre-flop ranges dialed in, understand your common post-flop lines, and study hand history. The more you understand what you should be doing, the easier it is to act without hesitation. Uncertainty is the enemy of confidence. Of course, though, also want to mention as I'm getting more into this, these tips and session guys, you can get on our newsletter or join our community where I give some one-on-one help as well as go deeper into hand analysis and ways to improve and hopefully move up in stakes. So definitely check that out because really trying to grow the community. So check out the pinned comments for that. All right, so tip number 2 is just embrace variance and don't fear it. Now I want you guys to stick with me to the end here because we're gonna have an all-in situation that was hard to put into words. So, kind of just buckle in a little bit and get ready for it. But, online poker is very swingy by nature. Even the best players can run bad, right? Confident players don't see a downswing as a reflection of their worth. They know it's just variance. Understand the math, trust your long-term edge, and never let short-term results rattle your mindset. There's definitely times where, obviously I'm not winning every time I play. I definitely have some losing stretches, but I've kind of got to a point where I just play through it. I don't even think about it anymore. And I'm always confident when I'm playing in these games, guys. Anyways, third tip here is to play within your role. Now, nothing is going to kill your confidence faster than playing, stakes you can't emotionally handle. I do think it's worth noting that you should be pushing yourself a little bit and moving up, but you want to do it responsibly, right? You don't want to just play with everything you got in one game. It just doesn't make sense, like 1 or 2 games. But you should be pushing yourself a little bit. All right, tip number 4 is just review to improve. Confidence isn't blind. You build it by doing the work, reviewing your sessions, plugging leaks, seeing your progress. When you've got the hours of study and analysis, you'll walk in every session knowing you earned your edge. And I think a lot of people out there don't go through hand histories. It's something you could do really anywhere nowadays. And yeah, you should definitely be doing that. And then, you want to reset after you make some mistakes. So even confident players like myself, we screw up. It's part of the game. The key is not letting one mistake snowball into tilt. Make a bad call, cool, learn from it, reset, and stay in the zone. Confidence is being able to absorb failure and stay really on top of your game. So really some final thoughts here though. I mean, confidence isn't just about being cocky or reckless. It's about being grounded in your preparation, trusting your reads, and pulling the trigger when it makes sense. Now, if you add confidence to your strategy, you're going to take down more pots, and you're also going to enjoy the game a lot more too. Now, check out this confident play right here, man. Shoving all in with the 6-5 right there. That was a play. All right, we'll say that was definitely a play right there. Definitely like that one. Pretty wild. And honestly, when I made that play, I was not. I mean, I was pretty confident he wasn't going to make that call. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. Okay. Yeah. So we're making our way, but like I said, continue sticking with me, guys, to the end. Also, if you want to comment below about anything, you could do that. Tap the like, man. But I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm not gonna give anything away. You kind of just got to buckle in with me right now and get ready for what's about to happen here. Because, I mean, I couldn't even believe it, honestly. But so far, just playing good. Not, I mean, from my own point of view, when I play in these games, guys, it's not. I say this a lot. It's not just about using one type of strategy. It's really just about outplaying your opponents. It doesn't matter if we're talking about, online or live. It is kind of the same thing. But you have to have a plan when you're going to make a play, and you have to figure out if it's going to make sense. Sometimes you're going to get called down if you throw in a bluff, you know what I'm saying? But the nice thing about bluffing and throwing bluffing into your game a little bit more is it lets you stay unpredictable at the table. And staying unpredictable it's something that, makes you just hard to read. And when people can't read you, then, you know, that's kind of when the magic happens a little bit. Okay. All right, so what do we got here? 4-7 queen board. Player 4, number 1 are in it. All right, everyone at the table is kind of like, you know, where they started, except for player 1 who's doing it all right. Now, I actually folded this 9-6. Looking back at it, I probably should have played it, but I didn't. You know, it is what it is. All right, anyways, let's see if it would have mattered. All right, yeah, no, it wouldn't have been a good flop for us anyways. That's kind of a tough one. Like if we had a 9-8 or like a 9-7 suited, then yeah, it would open. But you know, 9-6, not exactly very strong. Now, if I was in the button, obviously I'm going to be opening up with this. It's just first or second to act. This is not a hand you want to be opening with, honestly, especially in these games. Player 1's still going for it. Somebody's got something here, and I think player 1's going to take this down. Yeah, he did. Nice work right there. All right, on to the next hand. All right, pocket tens. All right, so I'm going to open with this. And yeah, interesting flop for pocket tens here. No doubt. Kick it up to 1250. And we will go from there. So player 4. Yeah, player 4. I think we only had one caller in this. It might have been player 5 or 6. Player 6 didn't have a whole lot left. Now, if somebody wanted to raise here, totally fine with that. We could build the pot. Maybe we hit a 10. Maybe we get a bunch of low cards. You know, whatever. Whatever happens, right? Yeah, player 5 is going to fold. Yeah, so me and player 6, heads up. An interesting flop. You know, I think a lot of times we're ahead here. You know, there is a queen out there. It's possibly as a queen. I'm not really going to be thinking that, but I did check this over, which kind of helped. We're blocking a lot of like straights here, like jack tens with pocket tens. That 8 was a really good card for us, so it gives us a lot of ways to get there. But just based on how this hand's playing out, yeah, I honestly don't think he has much anyways. So I put in a small sizing here. He is going to call. I was actually kind of shocked at how this played out. So get ready for it. This was very strange. It was very strange. But yeah, he's going to call. River card, I think, is a blank. Or no, it was a king. Didn't like to see the king. So I was actually okay checking this down to showdown, you know, and he is going to turn over ace queen. I don't know why he played his hand like that, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, you know. A little bit frustrating, but what are you going to do, right? It is what it is. All right, queen 9 folded. Making our way now. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. It's definitely like, what is going on here? All right, 8-6 folded. I think I folded the next couple of hands, but we are kind of getting to that moment coming up here that you guys are just going to be like, wow, you know, just, man, I'll tell you. Okay, so I went for a little bit of a bluff in this one, and then, or I'm sorry, not this hand. This hand was definitely another spot where I was like, we got to be good, right? So we have an A7 suited in the big blind. Good hand to have in the big blind for sure. We're going to obviously call any openers. I think player 5 is going to open. And I think everybody else folded except player 2. Pretty sure anyways. And yeah, this was a kind of a beautiful flop. But sometimes I'm okay with taking a free card if I, you know, think that I could be behind. Sometimes it's okay to take a free card, honestly, and that's kind of what I did in this. All right, so player 1 is, yeah, going to fold. Yeah, I think everybody folded except me, honestly. Let's see. I hate when some of these players just take so long to act. Yeah, player one was having a good session. That was about it so far. Everybody else is kind of down or kind of at even here in 500 NL. Player one, what's it gonna be, man? Make up your mind. Okay, yeah, and then we called here. No reason to raise, just to call. Now we could put player five on a lot of ace X's like ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, some king queen suiteds, some king jack suited, some jack 10 suited, mid pocket pairs. But we did flop the nut flush draw here, so very good looking flop. Turn card didn't get us there, and this is kind of like where I was okay taking another card if we can get to showdown here, or just get that. Even if he threw something out here, I wasn't going to go anywhere. But yeah, we are gonna. I think we're gonna get to the river. I think he's gonna check, and we're gonna get to the river. All right, he does. River card is gonna be an ace, which you'd think would be good, but yeah, I was okay checking this because once again, there are some hands we're still losing to, like ace 10, ace ace king. If you had an ace king, if you had ace jack, slow playing that too. I mean, there's definitely a lot, but I'm gonna have to call him here. There's no way I can't. And he's going to turn over ace 9. So he had two pair. I think I played that fine. It was just kind of like unlucky, if you know what I'm saying. So, nothing wrong with it. All right, so 8-7. So now we're down a little bit. And nothing I could really do. I think that for the most part, I've been playing okay. It's just sometimes, guys, it's just how it goes, and you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. 8-7, I am going to kick things up a little here with it, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, which I think is fine. I'm going to kick it up here to, I think, like 45, something like that. Mixing it up, just mixing it up. You might as well, right? Player two is going to, let's see what he does here. He's going to fold it. Okay, and that brings us to, kind of the moment here. I'll tell you what, you guys are just not going to believe this. All right, so we had a 7-9 suited. I think I'm going to open with it. Maybe I called somebody, but I think I opened with this. And this is definitely one of the craziest hands in a long time, for sure. And I know I'm kind of building it up, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy. And with that said, too, since this is going to be the final hand here, like I said, guys, get on the newsletter. The community, I think it'll definitely be good for a lot of you. That'll be in the pinned comment, but here we go. All right, player one. I think player one was doing something else, honestly. Like, I don't know if he was eating some food, or maybe he was taking a bathroom break and he just forgot to hit the sit out button. I have no idea what this guy was doing, but yeah. He is going to fold it. I think he's going to end up just sitting out too. Okay, yeah, so I opened, and I think we're going to have one caller. If somebody wanted to raise this, I'm still going to make a call anyways to see a flop with it, so I'm fine with that as well. Doesn't really matter. The nice thing about opening with a hand like this in late position is, a lot of people who are going to raise you are kind of giving away what they might have, ace king, ace queen suited, mid pocket pairs. So yeah, I'm going to make a call here because I like this hand, and we're going to see what happens. And that's what happened. We flopped the nut straight. Great flop. Doesn't get any better than that. We also have runner flush possibilities too if a club peels off. Now I think I slow played. Maybe I went for a min here. Yeah, I went for the min just to kind of build it. Targeting a lot of over pairs here. Turn card was an ace. Now, if he was floating us with ace king or ace queen, he just got there. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, that was the best turn card we could have asked for. He goes for a really big sizing here, and I felt like I only had one move to make, I guess, right? I mean, I could just call here. Wasn't sure if I should go for it or just call. I mean, it was very, Anyways, I did just go for it. His sizing was so big that I think he wasn't going to let it go anyways. And get ready for this, man. He's going to call, and we lose to a boat after flopping the nut straight. Unreal, guys. But this stuff happens, doesn't matter, and it doesn't kill my confidence. I just play through it, and that stuff is just part of the game. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.